Hi, I'm Paul Huddlestone, and this is the third in the series of short videos introducing the RFXCOM plugin for HS3. In this video I'm going to look at virtual devices, what they are and how to create them. So virtual devices are basically calculated values that are derived from input sensors. For example, we set up the RFX power device in the previous video, and this is basically an accumulated total for power consumed. Now we can create a virtual device for today's power consumption or instant power consumption, for example. So we'll go ahead and select virtual devices from the RFXCOM plugin menu. We haven't currently got any virtual devices configured on this system, so we click the drop down and we're given a list of the possible types of virtual devices that we can create. So we'll start with a instant power usage device by clicking on it, and we're taken to the standard HomeSeer device configuration screen here. So we'll give it a name. We'll call it instant power use. I'm going to leave the floor at RFXCOM, and I'm going to select utilities for my room just to keep all utility related devices together. As with input devices, we don't need to give it a house code and unit code, but you can if you want to. And then again, the standard HomeSeer options are listed here. We can give the device an image, but as it's a virtual device, there's no actual physical device image to represent that. So in the additional RFXCOM configuration tab here, we'll see that we've created a virtual instant power type device, and for the suffix it's currently at watts, but I'm going to change this to kilowatt hour. Okay, now this virtual device is actually based on our RFX meter device that we set up in the second video, and this is why the naming was important of that device. By naming it RFX PWR, it means that the plugin can actually find it and use it as a parent sensor for this virtual device. Okay, and because this virtual device is an IPWR, instant power device, it will only look for input devices that are named RFX PWR. So because the RFX PWR device that was originally configured reports in 1 watt increments, and I want my instant power usage in kilowatts, I'm going to divide the value by 1000. As with some of the input sensors, we can set high alarms and warnings, etc., low alarms and warnings, but I'm not going to do that on this occasion. And we can choose to show icon, and that's it for the virtual device. If we save that device, at the moment it's showing the standard HomeSeer off icon, but the next time that the RFX PWR device updates, this device will also be updated. So while that's waiting for an update, we'll go ahead and have a look at adding a today power usage virtual device for the same RFX meter. So we've got today power usage. Now you can add multiple virtual devices based on the same parent sensor. So if you can see here, the next instant power usage device that we would create would be given the next address, which would be a 2 there. So we're going to create a today power usage device. Okay, and then we'll name that today power use, and again I'm going to leave the floor as RFXCOM and select utilities as the room, leaving everything else blank. And in the RFXCOM tab, this will be set at kilowatt hour by default because this is a daily device, so it would be unusual to set this at watts because you would end up with such high values. So again, because it's based on the RFX meter device that we configured before, I'm going to set the divide by value to 1000. I'm going to leave the alarms and warnings empty and tick to show the icon and save the device. Okay, now you can see again it's got the standard default HomeSeer icon, but the next time the parent device receives an update, this device, okay, there it goes. So it's now started counting up the today power usage there, and you can also reset this device on a virtual daily power device. You're given a reset button there, or you can reset it to 0. So you could set multiple devices up again against the same parent sensor, and you can see the instant power usage now has started updating. Now my particular RFX meter device is configured to send updates every 30 seconds, so these two values, virtual devices, will be updated every 30 seconds. I think actually 30 seconds is the minimum setting for an RFX meter. Okay, so we'll have a look at one other virtual device, and we will select wind chill, for example, because this uses multiple input sensors. So I'll name that wind chill, and I'm going to set the room to weather station, again leaving the default HomeSeer options unchecked, and no device code and house code. And on the RFXCOM additional configuration, I'm going to leave the divide by value at 1. I'm going to check to show icon, and now we need 2 input sensors for a wind chill calculation. We need temperature and wind speed, and the plugin's automatically selected one of the temperature type devices that I'd got previously configured. Now you'll need to know which address the device that you want has. Now I know that device address 12033 is actually my outdoor temperature sensor, so I'll select that. And I've actually only got one wind speed device configured, so that's selected by default. And I click save the device, and now we've got a new virtual device for wind chill. Now the next time either the outside temperature is updated or the wind speed is updated, then the wind chill value will also be updated. So that's about it for virtual devices, I think. In the next video we'll have a look at security sensors. So thanks for watching.